Hello and welcome. This is my first ever on the bench live stream. I was sitting here just about to do a bit of work on my Micro B, and I thought, why not try doing it live and see if anyone wanted to join in with doing it and ask any questions or just really have a bit of a chat. So what I need to do, we've got a race coming up on Monday, so I wanted to do a bit of a service on the buggy, look at the diff. I haven't done anything to that since I picked it up, and I've been racing it for quite a while now, so time it had a bit of a service. What else do I need to do? Probably do shocks as well. Don't know if I'll get those done tonight in this. There was something else I wanted to do. Can't remember. No, can't remember. Anyway, so let's dive into this rear diff. Not done it before, so all a bit new. Gonna need 1.5s and 1.3s. Oh, I've got my first viewer. Hello, whoever you are. Say hi. Chatting to myself at the moment. We are just pulling apart the Micro B, doing a bit of a service on the rear end here. Not done it yet myself. Been so busy recently. Also need to have a play with the this is the Eco Power motor I've got in here, so I've got a few bits to do to that. Come on. God, this screw doesn't want to come out. Unscrew it all the way. Yeah. So yeah, hello to anyone who is watching. I'm just tearing down this Micro B to try and do a bit of a rebuild on the diff. But thought I'd do a live stream, see if anyone wanted to watch. Have a chat about these things. Any questions, let us know how you're doing with yours. Still waiting patiently for the Micro T to arrive. The UK is not due them for a little while still. What we're on, I think we're on the 14th now. I think they're due in on the 21st or something. So waiting patiently for those to arrive. In the meantime, we are still going with the buggies. I'm not sure how popular the T is really going to be now. Personally, the T, I don't know, is it going backwards? First, if you've already got a Micro B, I don't know. I mean, they're going to be more nimble, but is it really going to be that different to driving a B, or is it going to be a bit of a letdown? Not too sure, really. We'll find out. I've got two on order. I have a white one and a silver one coming from two different places. I wasn't sure who was going to get them first or if I was going to get them, so I ended up ordering one of each. Hello to anyone who has just joined. We are doing a strip down of the rear end, bit of a service, and checking everything's all right. This was a version 2 buggy. Gearbox was always way more noisy than the version 1 for some reason. Never put a finger on why. So quite interested to get this open and have a look and make sure everything's all right, but we'll take the diff apart and do a bit of a strip down and clean up. Don't know how far we'll get tonight. It's already quite late here in the UK. God, you've got to take so much of this apart to actually get to anything. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. And does anyone else find the whole changing between 1.3s and 1.5mm drivers an absolute headache? Because I certainly do. Here we go. Finally got to the screws that I wanted. Sorry I haven't done any more too many videos recently. We moved house in December, and I've been working on the house ever since, and I finally got myself a new desk in my office. So it's been absolute chaos, and I just haven't had a chance really to do any filming or a desk to film on. So finally got myself a new desk, and starting to get a bit more set up for this. Okay, we are getting there. Gosh, how many screws does it take to get to a Mini B diff? It's absolutely ridiculous. There you go. Nearly there. How's everyone else finding these Micro Bs? I'm still loving it. Just sort of got a real good feel for it at the moment on the track. The track itself is having an upgrade this Monday. To be honest, I should really be working on the feature that I am working on. There will be a video on it hopefully quite soon. I'll hopefully get some footage of it when we race on it on Monday. But yeah, there is a new feature that I'm building. It has taken a little bit of work as usual. A few things went wrong in trying to build it, but we should be good. Great, so the Velcro is actually holding this together as well. And of course, like everyone, we had to stick the Velcro down with super glue because it wasn't sticking. It would always come up when you crashed, so got to deal with that. Hello, anyone who has just joined. I am stripping apart a Micro B to do a bit of maintenance on the diff. After removing how many screws to try and get to it? I'm nearly there. And I have not had this apart before, so yeah, at the moment I think we're just held together with a bit of Velcro that is super glued down, so we are just going to have to cut that. And of course, as I say, I've just moved into this office and redone my desk, and everything is everywhere. So now you could be watching live surgery on my hand, but hopefully not too much blood will be shed in this. I still got, what am I missing? Ah, one more, of course. Again, hello everyone. Drop us a message if you are watching. Have you got a Micro B yourself? Have you done this yourself? Give us some tips if so, because I have not done this yet. It is all new to me. It's not something that you're going to do at the track, is it? In 5 minutes between your races. Jeez. Okay, we're nearly there. I can see the spur gear. Still got... Oh my word, come on. How do we get this thing open? I know I super glued the thing down, but surely it's not. Don't try this at home, kids. Aha, we're there. Right, not done this before, so make sure we don't. Of course, I know exactly where all of these screws came from. Not. Probably won't be putting this back together on the live stream. I'll be here all night. Right, well, here we go. Here's the inside of your diff. Quite nice. Looks all right. Nothing major going on there. Still a bit of grease in there. Probably enough. Probably too much, some would say. Cool. This is pretty impressive, really. What you get for $100 or thereabouts with these Micro Bs and Ts is it's pretty impressive. Little bearings in that gear. There's the main shaft. Again, bearings. Pretty impressive. Is anyone running a metal gearbox? How are you finding it? I expect. Are they super noisy? I'd imagine they are. Not something that I'm really that interested in, personally. What are we doing here? There we go, pops out. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to go grab some paper and we'll give this a bit of a clean down and then throw some grease in it. So just bear with me 2 minutes. There we go. Right, okay, so let's do a bit of cleaning without losing everything. You could be watching a one-way trip here. So I'll probably be throwing in some diff grease. I don't know what to run in here. I've got most of the Kyosho ones. 3,000? I don't know. Diff, gear diff. Do I want to go thicker? Do I want to go thinner? I've got all of them. What do I want to... anyone done this? Let us know what you put in there. Did you find any difference much with it? It's going to be a matter of just trying, really, but maybe I should do some research before I do this, bearing in mind how many screws it takes to put this back together. Get the old trusty toothbrush out. Yeah, how's everyone else on this Thursday night? In the UK here it is about 11 o'clock at night, 11:30, something like that. Where are you watching from? Give us a shout. I don't even know if the messages are working. How do you even do messages on here? Oh. No, I'm just going to have a see. I've never done a live stream before. I don't know how you do. How do you even see messages? Maybe there are messages, top messages. Hide live chat. All messages are visible. Someone drop me a message if you're watching this. I'm keen to figure out if this is actually working. Could just be talking to myself. Right, still learning about this. Oh, did the sun gears, planet gears come out? Yes, they do. Let's give this all a nice clean. Try and figure out why this one was so noisy compared to my version 1. Apologies if this is really dull. If it's dull, turn it off. There's quite a bit of muck in there. Oh, sorry. As I say, I am working on my office setup desk to try and hopefully make some of these videos a little bit better for you guys to watch and to create. I need to try and get a decent camera. I am no techie person. I am purely doing this all from my phone, and it's an ancient iPhone 8, but it kind of does the job. Apologies, I mean, it is pretty. Oh, hello, someone watching from Utah. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Not that you're in Utah, but that someone's actually watching. So hello. Tell me, why are you watching? This must be so dull, but hey. Yeah. So yeah, if you are joining, a few people have just joined. We are just stripping down the diff on this Micro B to give it a bit of maintenance and love. I've not done anything to this one since I started racing it, and it has probably been longer than it should have. So learning a bit about it, as well as doing some maintenance. For those that are watching, let us know. Have you got a Micro B? I'm assuming you have, otherwise you're more crazy than I am talking to myself. Do you race it, or do you just bash it around in the house? We've had so much fun with these little cars over the winter, me and my son. Oh, hello. Love the Micro B and content, came to learn more. Cheers from Florida. Micro B is so much fun. Hello, Florida. I've got my brother out in Florida, actually, in Orlando. And he is due over with us in a week or so. 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. So hoping to do a bit of driving with him when I see him. Florida is absolutely amazing for 10th scale racing. I used to go over and see my brother, and we used to go to Beachline Raceway, and it's kind of one of the inspirations for building this indoor track that I am at the moment. The setup there is absolutely bonkers, and so many cool features. I would love to do something like that. I can only dream of it, but there you go. Yeah, so yeah, hello Florida. Those that have joined, we are stripping down a Micro B diff. I am slowly forgetting where everything went. because I'm not focusing on this and I've not done it before. So you guys might be telling me where to put everything back together. Hope everyone has found the Micro B and Mini Z content useful. I've not been doing this long, and I didn't think anyone would even bother watching my videos. I don't know even really why I started, to be honest. Well, I suppose it's because I run the track, but yeah, kind of just started doing a few videos to help the club that I run, and turns out some of them were actually quite helpful for people. So yeah, hope you did find them good. Right, what am I doing next, people? Tell me what I need to do. I just raced mine on the back of the patio with some simple jumps. I tried to avoid bashing it. Yeah, these things, people ask how big a space you need to have fun with these things. The answer is like virtually nothing. Me and my son, when we first got them, we set up a track in the living room. It was probably 2 or 3 meters wide. No, 2 or 3 meters long, probably. And like 1.5 meters wide, like a less than a figure 8. And we had so much fun just with the smallest of jumps made out of books and stuff. You don't need any space for these things to have fun. I have just, saying that, I've just got the Eco Power motor in one of mine, and it's absolutely ballistic now. And for those interested, I'm going to do a full upgrade on one of my buggies very shortly. I'm just waiting on a few bits to arrive that have taken a while to find. So I'm quite excited about that. It's not going to be a mental build, but for those buggy racers that are, shall we say, slightly older of generation, who didn't grow up on a wheel transmitter, might find it quite interesting, because I know a lot of people are put off by these cars because they only have a wheel transmitter, and I myself didn't grow up with wheel transmitters. They weren't hardly a thing when we were younger. But yeah, so I have a build coming up. Got all the bits here waiting to go in it. Gives you a little sneak peek. Should be quite fun. Right, I think we're clean. So now comes the hardest decision of all, and putting the diff grease in. If you're watching, anyone watching, give me an idea. Where should I go? Top, middle, or bottom? My go-to for just about everything is 1500. Is that going to be too little? I feel like it was quite thick in there already. 3000? Go right in the middle. What grease are we putting in this thing, guys? Come on, give us a hand. Throw me a bone. I don't know what to do. I'm a bit worried I've forgotten how to put it back together. Not done one of these. Assuming that went in there. Light grease. 1000? Or not sticky? Just like a, what have I got? Like a dry lube? I've completely forgotten how to get this back together. Should have been paying more attention. That looked like it went in there. Not that way though. That's stupid. Like that. Yeah, I reckon we had a bearing in there. Likely, I'm going to go 1500 then, I think. Tell me if I'm doing this right. Whichever grease has less calories. Or I'm not a major fan of eating grease, got to admit. I've had my dinner tonight as well. I'm going to go 1500. It's my go-to for everything other than the mini Z diffs. Over here, loads of people with those say that 1500 works, but what I found over here, where it's freezing cold most of the year round, it's just too much. Right, I think everything's clean. Tell me if I'm missing anything completely line. Right, let's get these planet gears back in. I think I cleaned them. Hello everyone that has just joined. I am doing a rebuild on this Losi Micro B. I've not touched it yet. First time looking at it, and it was due a bit of attention. Right, let's get a bit of grease on here. You know what? I think I should probably pull up the retro buggy body. Looks good on these. I have seen a load of buggy bodies. I would like to get a new one, especially for this new build coming up. I wasn't sure on some of the ones that... where's the best place to look for bodies? A-Main is my go-to. We're a bit, over here in the UK, we are rather restricted on options, so I end up ordering most of my stuff from A-Main. Micro B body. Is it the lead finger one you're talking about? Kind of looks cool. I have been wondering about vacuum forming my own. I'm over here in the UK. I'm a bit of a Schumacher kind of guy because that is our UK thing. So I was kind of quite liking the idea. Oh no, that's Mini B. Quite liking the idea of drawing up a Cougar 2 works body. Raw speed Dark Star. That looks kind of cool. Hello, Easy Fallout. Yeah, maybe I'll have to buy a new body for this build coming up. I might have to order something in a minute. I am going to also just quickly look up a diff differential, a part, an assembly for it, because I don't know what I'm doing with this. I've taken it apart, not paid attention. Should be watching the video. Is it in the manual? Tell me where I can find a breakdown of how to put this thing back together. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, Cool, I have got myself a manual, so I am going to hopefully get this thing back right. That goes in there. Which side is that going to go in? If we're up that way, it is going to go, I'm assuming that way around. This way around? Yeah, I think so. Those are the Right. This must be hilarious watching this Muppet put this back together that has no idea what he's doing. That's going on there. Probably should have put a bit of grease on that sun gear. So we've gone with 1500. I have no idea if this is going to be too thick or too thin. I hope it's not going to be too thin. Oh, hey Paul, how's it going? I am just stumbling my way through rebuilding the diff on my buggy, trying to figure this out. Doing a pretty poor job at it. No, what am I doing? Sun gear. That's going on there. Okay, apologise. This is the breakdown that I'm looking at is really confusing. That's going in there. That is going in there. Like so. I think so. But then, hang on, we got that one in there to go in first. Let's get that back in there. I don't think I cleaned that. Ooh. So yeah, don't attempt this at the track. It's going to take way too long. Far too many screws. Give yourself a good hour or two to do this. Oh my word. Fiddly scale, it is pretty fiddly. I don't know, it's not that bad, is it really? I'm just making it hard for myself trying to do it on a live stream. You could say things are really gearing up. Falling apart here, mate. Paul's got a buggy. Paul races with us. Nice one. Well done. Nice one. I have got a Micro T on order, or should I say two. Over here in the UK, we are patiently waiting for the Micro Ts to arrive. What am I forgetting here? What was these in? We're so far behind with everything. It takes forever for stuff to arrive. Still got another 5 or 6 days to wait before the Micro Ts arrive in the UK. Normally I order stuff from A-Main and it comes over nice and quick, but anything with a lipo, you get charged absolute fortunes. Like I'm talking like $80 shipping to get a Micro T sent over from America. Otherwise I would have had one a long time ago. So yeah, I've had to be patient and wait this time to get the Micro T. But as I say, I do have two on order. Don't know quite what I'm going to do with them. I don't even know if we're even going to race them. For anyone that's got a Micro T, what are they like? Are they really any different to driving the Micro B? Do you race it in your Micro as one heat? Do you race your your micro T's with other micro B's? Are they competitive side by side? I don't imagine they are. I imagine the micro T's got to be slower than the micro B, surely. Right, we're getting there with this. I didn't think this was going to ever go back together again, but hopefully we've not done anything too stupid. Let me know if I have, because it'll be a lot easier to fix it now than when it's back in the car. These diff cups, do they literally just push in? They kind of fell out, so I'm assuming so. Right, well, I think we are nearly there. That doesn't look like it's sitting quite right. What's going on there? That was in there. That goes under there, right? See, I am being stupid. Right, for those that... There you go. Why didn't anyone tell me that? You just wanted to see me fail and laugh at me. I know what you like. Bits falling out everywhere now. I'm just madly sitting here talking to myself, making a fool of myself, kind of enjoying it. Normally it's just the little people in my head that I'm talking to. Right, are we going with that? Tell me. Speak to me, people. Right, it's going back together. He says. Right, for anyone that has just joined me, I am making a mess of a Losi Micro B diff, trying to do a bit of general maintenance. I think someone actually asked me if I could do some general maintenance on a Micro B, so well, here you go. Not sure whether I'd watch this back myself, but it's been a interesting experience. Now I've just got to figure out all these 100 screws. So anyone that didn't watch this first part, the number of screws that came out of this thing is mental, just to get to the diff. So what screws have we got? We've got some with shoulders on. I didn't notice those. Where do they come from? A couple with shoulders on. That was probably those ones, I imagine, because of the aluminium. I want to say some slightly longer ones to go in the casing. Let's put one of those in there. Anyone else find the way that these screws flip from 1.5s to 1.3s so irritating? I can't believe that they couldn't build this thing to have one size screw head. But we are getting there. We are getting there. I hope it's going to be a bit quieter than it was before, because this one was noisy. Yeah. Was it the same on the SCX 24s? Are they all over the shop as well? There's a few things that I'd have done differently if it was me that was designing these things. Right, what are we thinking? Have I messed it up? There's a bit of a gap in the diff case there, but I'm assuming that'll pull together once it's in the chassis. Got a lot of screws left. Slightly worrying. Slightly worrying. God, have I been rambling for 40 minutes? Has anyone tried the metal gears? I don't want to. I'm not a fan of metal, really, anywhere. Oh, no, shims are all right. I did get that shim in the diff. Anyone tried the metal gearboxes? Are they really noisy? I'm expecting they are. Try and avoid it wherever possible and stay with plastic because it's quieter and probably less friction. I think we're back in action. Feels nice. Cool. Should I have put that on first? Idiot. Idiot. Go on, guys. You need to tell me what I need to do here. Can't do this on my own. There we go. I'm going to use these two shoulder bolts for here. I just run one stock and try to keep it clean. Yeah. I don't think there is much wrong with the parts that come on these, especially the version 2. I'm glad people are slowly coming around to the fact that there was 2 major versions, or batches, shall we say. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's another thing that really bugs me on these things, is that servo plug. Why did Horizon put a full-size servo plug on here? It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. What were they thinking? I mean, even on the SCX 24s, why don't they use the little JST ones? Can we identify the difference between the batches? Well, what do we know about the batches? Well, I know the first car that I had came from America, and it had the slower motor. It had the single hole servo. It was this one here. Got a little stack of cars. About that. It was this car here. What were the differences? The servo horn has only got one hole on the batch 1. The motor is a major difference on the batch 1 versus batch 2. The batch 2 came in very soon. There was a few that made it to the UK of batch 1, not a huge number. And then batch 2 came in, and I think you guys, unfortunately in the States, ended up with most of batch 1, whereas the rest of the world ended up with mostly batch 2, which I guess is at least something for having to wait so much extra time. What was it? The pinion is a different color on the batch 1 versus batch 2. It's white in the batch 1 and it's this beigey color in the batch 2. No idea if it's actually any difference. Maybe it's different plastic or something. Maybe that's why it's more noisy. Don't know. What did you return it for, out of interest? Other than that, oh, the C-hubs upgraded on the batch 2. The first ones were a little thinner, I believe, and the newer batch 2 were a little more beefy. The steering links, now I don't think there's really any. Interesting. The steering links on the batch 1 were one way around, the opposite to this, because I've changed them. The steering links were flipped around the other way. I don't think it really makes much difference. I think that was just a bit of quality control issues. But yeah, steering links were put on alternate ways on batch 1 versus batch 2. And yeah, gearbox was noticeably more noisy on batch 2, whether that was a real issue. Now, sticky shocks, I have had issues with that. But I rebuilt them just using, what oil did I use? 20 weight? No, 200 CST. And they have been fine since. I did also have an issue with, and it was on my batch 2 car. It was quite interesting actually, and if I take these off, I think I'm right in saying, it's been a while now. On the batch 2 car, yes, the hexes, the wheel was going on too far, and the little fins on the inside of the wheels were catching on the arms, I think it was. So I ended up having to print some slightly wider hexes, I think only 0.5 mil thicker, but it just pushed the wheels out and gave me a little bit more clearance on those. So yeah, that was something I noticed on my version 2, but whether that was just unlucky or anything, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's mostly what we know about version 1, version 2. Losi, I messaged Losi about a few of the issues on Facebook and wasn't expecting any sort of response, but I actually got one. They completely denied any difference between the versions 1 and versions 2, which was quite amusing, shall we say. They certainly denied there being any change to the motors. I don't know what people think with the difference now between version 1 and version 2 motors. My view is that Losi said it was just a manufacturing difference, but they're two vastly different. Something changed. I'm not sure what, but the version 2s are just so much quicker. So at our club, although we kind of calling it box stock, no, those are the wrong screws. No, they can't be the wrong screws. I haven't even taken those out. You just have to run that a bit further out. Oh, hang on. Was this me the other night? Yeah, I ended up putting different screws in the. I ended up putting different screws in here for a reason. Can't remember what it was. Which car was that on? That was on this car. Oh. Hang on. Okay, questioning my sanity at the moment. This is definitely the Eco Power motor, right? No, I think I am. No, this is the Eco Power motor car. I'm Sorry, I'm just going slightly crazy. Yeah, if you push that pinion on too far, it touches these. Actually, that was a little interesting mod I did with the Eco Power motor. I had to run a 12-tooth pinion, and it started hitting the screws, so I ended up having to sort of countersink with a scalpel the slots, but then it meant that I could use a countersunk bolt, and it meant that I could get the screws a lot lower down and sort that clearance issue out. So I might leave that almost there and do that. I'm not going to do it now because it's, I don't know what the time is. It must be nearly 12 o'clock at night. So yeah, I think we're pretty much there with this. I just need to reassemble the back end and get things back together. I'm not going to do that on here because no one wants to see that. It is completely boring and fiddly as hell as well. So I think that pretty much ties up the diff. It feels pretty good. Adding a mod session at the track with a buggy mod. Buggy mods. Let's talk about buggy mods, or modded buggies under heat. I would love to run the class as a completely open class personally. This is my view, and not necessarily what we're going to do, because kind of got to go with the majority, and a lot of people love the stock racing. My view would be to run a completely open class and let people do whatever they want, and I say that for a number of reasons, because at the end of the day, the faster driver is always going to win, and having more power is never always 100% of the time a good thing. So yes, you could put a brushless engine in it, but on our track that is relatively small, the version 2 motors are more than powerful enough, and which is why this new build that I'm doing, which will be coming up fairly soon, is staying brushed. I mean, I have another hobby wing motor right here that I could put in a car if I wanted, but I don't want to. I don't think there is any real reason or benefits to adding huge numbers of upgraded parts to these cars. The quality of the machining on most of the parts that you can buy now is probably of lesser quality than the plastic components. Okay, on the front end, C-hubs and stuff that do have a habit of breaking, certainly version 1 components. I've not had any issues breaking a version 2 component. I'm trying to think if anyone at the club has broken version 2 components. I don't think there has been. I don't think there's much benefit to adding a huge number of upgrades. So if there's no real performance benefit of adding upgrades, does it really matter if someone wants to add a load of aluminium stuff? And I did cover this on a video quite a while back, on the weight of like a fully modded car. They get absolutely crazy heavy. I can't remember the difference or the percentage difference. I want to say it was like 30% heavier by adding like aluminium arms and stuff like that. So the way I see it, if people want to add a load of weight to their car, let them, because it's not going to give them any real advantage on the track. Likewise, adding a load of carbon fiber things like the chassis, although I totally agree it looks kind of cool, I'm not going to be doing it because I don't want to take weight out of the chassis because it's low down and I want to keep the center of gravity low. So again, spending money, you know, the idea of the stock class is that it's cheap racing, which is what we all love about the Micro B. It's cheap racing. So yeah, if spending twice as much as the actual car itself cost at the start is no benefit, then if people want to do that, let them do it, is the way I see it. Yeah, but as I say, if people want to keep it stock, we'll keep it stock. The next couple of months will soon tell whether we end up with two classes. I quite like the idea of doing the mods also because it then opens up the thing of people being able to use whatever transmitter they want, changing the receivers over and stuff like that. So yeah, I would quite happily say open it up and run whatever you want. But yeah, stock does give you all the fun you need, and they perform blooming well. I'm definitely thinking of allowing some tuning options. So I think for stock class, it would be nice to add springs and camber links, both very cheap to do. Yeah, certainly allowing any radio gear receiver transmitter would be cool. Servo, I have a nice little servo here for another build. I was wondering about putting it in the buggy, but this is like a 40 quid servo, 50 quid servo probably. It doesn't make that much sense to me. They're not that terrible in here. But one of the things that I've decided against putting the servo in, an upgraded servo in, certainly in this latest build that I will be doing, is the servo saver. I'm a bit worried about putting a 40 quid, 50 quid dollar servo in and doing the gears on it. So until I can figure a way to put a servo saver onto a better servo, I'm going to stick with stock servo. And yeah, but yeah, even still, yeah, if people, I don't know what people want to do. I don't want to put people off racing, and I don't want people to feel like they need to spend loads of money to be competitive. But at the same time, it'll be nice to get the cars running as good as they possibly can, because I think that will help the hobby, and hopefully get more people from larger scales into the micro racing. It's like going from the mini Zs to the reflex racings. I think if a lot more 12 scale drivers drove these things, they would be absolutely blown away by them. And it questions how long is it going to take for companies to come up with something like this on something like this. I don't know if it will ever happen. I would hope it will. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just mumbling now. I think we've covered everything that we need to tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to run a mod class or an open class. Yeah, exactly. How many other classes can you have a track in your living room? It's why it's why I've loved coming into micro. I started micro racing or micros probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And it started off with a Kyosho Mini Z buggy in my living room going around a foam track, the little small tiny foam track, and I got completely hooked on it. I then got a MR03 and got hooked on that, and then one thing led to another, and here I am 3 or 4 years later with a club that we run every week, and my life is revolved around these bloody things. So yeah, I absolutely love the micro racing, but I just want more people to love it. I want more people to get into it, which is why I'm kind of doing all this YouTube stuff as well. Yeah, crawlers. I've got crawlers as well. Well, let me grab a crawler. I used to do a lot of crawling. I'd like to do more crawling stuff on the channel, but I think it might bore people. I've got a couple of SCX 24s. The old Betty. Do like Betty. And then this was one that I worked on myself. Excuse the body, my son put this one on. I vacuum formed. This was one of my own design bodies, and I vacuum formed this one, and he is obviously quite small. And I said, go wild on it. So he drew all over it and painted it up. So this is going back a few years now. This was a chassis that I designed and printed. And it was a full AliExpress build, well, bar the motor. It doesn't get much use, but since we moved house, I've now got a bit more of a rockery, shall we say, and I would like to kind of build a bit more of a track on there. I'd like to do more with these things, but as I say, I fear people on this channel are a bit racing minded, which is fair enough. But I like everything to do with RC, pretty much. Cars, boats, planes, gliders, helicopters, drones, everything. So yeah, I've got some pretty epic 10th scale crawlers as well. Don't think I've ever posted anything on them. But yeah, I would like to do some more stuff with the crawlers. And I'd love to build a new one, to be honest. Parts have come a long way since I built this. These were just cheap aluminium axles, Endura, I think. And there's a lot more. And there's a few more comps around now, which is, I know Voltage Models, about an hour away from me, does a indoor comp, which would be fun to go and do. I always used to do quite well at the comp driving with the crawlers. So yeah, we might have to get back into those. I have done trailers. Go on my I've done trailers. I've done a really cool trailer. I was actually quite satisfied with it. Go on, obviously not now, once I finish this. Go on my videos and go back to sort of Christmas time. I did a Lego trailer. I did this with my son. It was super fun. We did it with Lego. What's it? We Do, and it's got a motion sensor. So the crawler was pulling the trailer, and then I think I can't remember what we did it with, buggies or another crawler. You drove up to the trailer sensed the car, it then raised the bed on the trailer, you drove on, and then it automatically lowered itself again. I thought that was quite cool. It was just probably a little, I don't know, a little thing that I had going in my own little head. But it was a lot of fun. I spent way too long on it. It turned out, it started off as like a little Sunday morning build, and then it turned into an all-day Sunday build, and then it turned into like a week-long build, trying to get it running perfect and programming it on the iPad and stuff like that. No, I think I took it all apart now. But yeah, go back. There's a I think there's a whole build video on it. I can't remember. It's a lot of fun. The video did absolutely appallingly. It had hardly any views, which was quite disappointing because I was so proud of it. But there you go. Anyway, I am really rambling on now. I've been rambling on for nearly an hour. So thank you everyone that has tuned in. This has been fun. Perhaps I'll do another one in the future. Drop us a comment if there is anything that you want me to cover. Otherwise, I'll probably just, I don't know, maybe do the buggy build on a live channel. Yeah, cool. So thank you for watching. I will see you all soon. Look out for more content coming soon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, all that jazz. And I will see you soon. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much. Over and out.